there would be a potential for the residents of the wells nearest that being contaminated. But being that we don't, and it all stays down in that pit, 100, more than 100 feet is probably an eighth of a mile back there or more, right?
Well, it's quite a ways.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're saying there's no issue with contamination.
If I could just, so who actually does the scoring? Is it DEC?
Well, they're using DEC's template to score. LaBerge is using their template because that's when they receive the application for the grant. That's what they do. And so they have the template of, okay, does it check off this box? Does it check off this box? Does it check off this box?
So I gotta kind of agree with Jason on this one is, why would you put it, apparently it's not a hazardous place where it is, or else they'd have scored it higher. I know everybody wants to protect the wildlife and the fish and everything else, but if they're not complaining about it, why would we move it to an area where it could create a problem, therefore you gotta build a salt shed? I would rather see us, if we're gonna spend money on the salt and sand, which we know we're gonna have for years and years to come, we should maybe look at spending that money on maybe purchasing more land down there, because from what I'm saying, I think we're gonna run out of land pretty soon. Then if we had to go and get a salt shed and start hauling sand.
And I'm not saying that they want you to create a hazard. I'm just telling you how it's
just
scored.
incentivize it.
That if it's not there already, you don't have that hazard, like I said.
So-
And like I said, if we were gonna build it on the town garage property where the garage is, and we sampled water to see how much salt was in the wells next to them, then again you would move up the point system. Because
say we leave it like it
you're
is.
creating a hazard, or have created a hazard. But where we're putting it, you will not get any grant money, is what they're telling.
Like, none at all?
We can spend the money.
None at all?
No, you gotta hit that 30%.
So you wouldn't even get 300,000, 400,000,
Nothing.
nothing at all?
No, you have to hit the threshold of those points before you're, that just puts you in the running for the money.
But we haven't
You know
been
what I'm saying?
mandated to build one, so.
We have not. If we got mandated, oh, wait a minute, cause that's another one. If we got mandated to build one
Then
by DEC, and they said, okay, we don't want you contaminating the wetlands back there, or the creek, or whatever, that would bring us up the score where we could probably do it down there. Where we could get the $500,000. That's what you're gonna get if you get it. It's $500,000 out of probably $1.2 million salt shed, because that's what they are.
Somebody's gonna have to throw themselves on a sword to...
Just saying. I don't kill the messenger. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna be honest with you and tell you exactly what
Create a hazard, we'll give you money.
Or if it has created a hazard, we'll give you money, and that's what they're saying. Where you're at, you haven't really
I think that's
created
more for,
anything.
it's already in a hazardous area, and they're looking to take care of that. They're looking to fix salt and sand areas that are already in it.
You're right, Timmy.
In a
Like if we
contamination.
had, like I said, if he had been storing
don't
his
have
salt
that.
and sand up there and it had been contaminating the ground, we'd have tested the wells and got a high reading of sodium in it, then we'd have been, no question, we'd hit 30% right off the bat.
Can I just say this, to agree with Sherman for a minute? We're going through contamination up there already, what, 10 years ago at the garage?
Right.
There was an actual contamination up there 10 years ago. About 10 years, right, Mike?
If not longer.
If not longer, but I mean within the last,
Yeah.
I mean, we're just getting through one contaminated. It wouldn't make any sense to put it up there
Well,
at all.
to
Well, you
begin,
wouldn't have
to begin with, I've
any,
never
like Mike
seen,
Brody said, you wouldn't have any contamination if you built the salt shed, because it contains it all in it. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, we'll probably beat this
I think
out.
this is a work session
Yeah.
discussion.
All I want to do is bring you up to speed that at this point in time, it would
Yeah.
do us no good to spend the money to apply for that grant, because we're not gonna hit the point system.
Didn't you used to store the salt and sand up there?
yeah,
For a lot of years, right?
oh yeah.
So what
And I-
about testing
and
for that?
This is what I was trying to say, but this should be work session, I mean, come on. You know, we've been 15 minutes on this. You know, and I've been up
Sorry.
all day, and it's like I'm ready to go home. Anyway, I've never seen the actual facts, but as far as I know, across the road, the well's been re-drilled because of what
Salt.
we had stored at the garage parking lot years ago, and one down on the other side of the garage has been replaced already. So, I mean, but like you said, I mean, a salt shed is supposed to contain it,
Right.
you know.
That's the whole purpose of it.
Yeah,
But they're not gonna give us money to build a garage up there. The
Yeah.
money is to build a salt shed up there. So if we're putting a salt shed other than
Yeah.
where that is, then you're not gonna score. It's that simple.
yeah.
I want to clarify that I'm not in favor of doing that if there's any chance of contamination to any of those neighbors.
Yeah.
And there shouldn't be. That's why I say shouldn't, because you never know, but there shouldn't be with the salt shed. That's the whole purpose of having. And have the 4-foot cement knee walls, and then you can build them all out of tin, or you can build the whole thing out of wood. It's all up to you.
Where you could draw, I don't know if it'd be even possible up on Soper Street at the old watershed.
Yeah, but you're not gonna wanna
You're not
haul
gonna want all
sand.
your sand
That's even
from there
better.
all the way up there.
Anything is valuable to have, to have your salt and sand undercover. It's worth millions, believe me.
Yeah.
The winter times are treacherous.
So would you
Very,
be
very
opposed to putting a salt shed up in that area by the garage, or no?
Me? No, anywhere in this town.
Wouldn't you have more room on Salmon River Road? That's a bigger piece of property.
I know, but it's a cost of trucking that we have to
Yeah.
look at.
Well, I mean, we've got it,
Manpowers and
you
stuff
know.
like that. I was just thinking from the pit straight to the garage isn't that far, but, yeah.
I mean, if you could get, like you said, the whole idea is it's supposed to be all contained
Yep.
inside the salt shed. Sure, it would be perfect up to the garage. I mean, you'd make room for it. You
I don't know what the setbacks, if you have room, that's the problem.
Well, hey,
Yeah,
So-
it's something that we'd have to look into. So again,
yeah,
let's say that it's a work in progress, we'll look at it and do that. We also gotta take into consideration the amount of salt that you lose,
Huh.
and that's taxpayers' dollars too, from it being out in the open and getting washed away, so.
that kind of surprised me. I thought it would really welcome it down to the pit. But,
Yeah, and it just don't score on the grant because there's,
I mean, we've been down there since 1986, we've been doing it down there. You know, we never had one issue whatsoever with salt.
okay. Going back to my unfinished business.
Yeah.
Well, I shouldn't bring up any of that stuff anymore. The AEDs, I've been in contact with Marshall EMS, and they have gone up significantly since I bought the 3 for the fire station. So, I spoke with, remember that girl's name that wanted to know? Is it Nancy?
From where?
The one that was checking to see if we had any of those AEDs that may be malfunctioning that were, remember?
No, I don't remember.
Come on, Tom, help me out. But anyways, there was a individual that contacted the town down here and wanted to know if we had a certain make and model of AED that they should be recalled or should be looked at for reprogramming. We didn't have any, which spurred the conversation, why don't we have AEDs? We should. Almost all public buildings have at least one of them now. So we decided to go ahead and, luckily enough for me, we didn't put my dollar amount on it because they're about $1,500 to $1,600 a piece right now. And I wanted to get one for you guys up at the garage and one for down here. When I spoke to the person that was asking about whether we own the other ones because they need to be recalled, she goes, if you can get them for that, she goes, I can't even touch that under my state contract. She goes, I don't know how the heck they're getting them to you that cheap. But anyways, so we're gonna purchase them from the distributor that more so EMS uses, and I've been working with Tyler over there to get that done. So we'll have one down here, probably in the main hallway, so it's just about halfway to this side of the building to it, or the other side. And then Mike, wherever you think is best up there, we'll put one up there also, okay? The other thing was the gas, our conversation. I don't know if you made out anything, I did check with Bobby. They were ordering it online, and then, Taylor Rental actually gave them a better price than what they could order even off the line. So they're buying it's more expensive to buy it by the quarts or the gallon, but if you buy the 5-gallon jug down there, it beat even Amazon's online where he was buying it. So I can go down there and talk to them. and
How much
see.
are they paying for it though? That's bigger.
He didn't give me the price yet. I told him, I said, because it reminded me when it was me tonight, I was like, shit, I didn't get that yet. So I called him up because I don't have the last invoice on me right now, but he's gonna let me know how much it is.
Do you want me to check within the next few days to see what we're paying for it, or can I give me that information?
No, go ahead.
Okay, I'll
You and I
take care of
are
that for
working
you.
on that, so, yeah, find out what you can get it for, or you gonna call down there for me?
No, I'll stop right down there tomorrow and find out.
Awesome. Yeah, because we're much like them. We use quite a bit more than a normal household, so I don't know how much he's giving it to him. Bobby's gonna let me know though.
Where
Okay.
can you find out how much the oil mixture is if you do it yourself?
Yeah, I'll figure out both ways. I mean, obviously I can't use gasoline price because I don't know where they're gonna get it.
Right.
Or if they're gonna
So-
order it and then put a tank in like we discussed. But I will find out from Taylor Rental what we're paying. And I will find out, so Mike, on what we can get oil for.
Yeah, the
Or
oil,
mix.
the oil's gonna be a lot cheaper than the 40 or 50% mix, that's for sure. You pay for that because it's the fuel and yeah. You got to figure out what we're gonna charge to put in a tank up there if we really wanna do that, a pump. And how much it costs to get, how many gallons of whatever tank size you want delivered.
You don't have a gas tank up there already?
Not for non-ethanol.
Not non-ethanol.
They got diesel and gas only, right, Mike?
So we don't have, do we have to run on ethanol? We don't have to run
You
on.
should. You should run a non-ethanol all small engine or else you're just
You're
gonna,
gonna be changing the
you're
carburetors
just
all the
gonna give
time.
yourself nightmares. Every time you go to use them, they're not gonna run.
I never did. I always use pump gas in my stuff.
Yeah,
Not good.
Still running.
yeah. Alright, so that was my old business. Anybody else got anything for old business? New business?
Now, Vern, is that high test fuel you're talking about?
It's non-ethanol.
Oh, it's
It
a
is-
separate class of its own
Yeah,
then?
yeah, it's not
Yeah.
high test, it's non-ethanol.
And the stuff at the non-ethanol at the stations are what they say less than 10%.
Yes.
Total non-ethanol, like in the cans, or total, non-ethanol gas is no. It's ethanol, because alcohol absorbs water. And that's what happens. You'll know, you've taken them apart, the carburetors are all green and it plugs
Well,
up the
Bricky,
main
you
jet.
buy a lot of it, I know.
And
Where do you go?
the idle
Stewart's?
jet. and,
$4.60 a gallon.
Stewart's,
non-ethanol.
huh? Non-ethanol.
Stewart's, Rick, is that where you
Yeah.
get yours?
$4.60 a gallon.
Yeah.
Was, I got 25 gallons a week or so.
Yeah.
It's usually 90 cents to $1 more than
Yeah.
the other gas.
Yeah.
And if you don't use it, you can have carburetor problems.
Yeah.
Especially if it sets for any length of time.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the other thing where the oil doesn't separate out of the non-ethanol. It will.
You
And,
know that?
and that's how we were burning up the chainsaws over
Well,
there.
even
They'd
like-
sit for 3-4 months and the oil and gas would separate and then they just,
I use it in the mower, even with, you don't mix it with the oil, I use the non-ethanol. You're supposed to.
yeah. Yep. And the carburetors, there ain't no sense of getting a kit because you can buy a brand new carburetor for the
Right.
same price as a kit now.
Right.
It's- They're all All right, we're done with mechanics. Think so. Resolutions, how about that? So resolutions tonight, will be 2356 through 2359. Remember that. All right, first one, resolution 2356. A motion by, whereas the town board desires to enter into a labor management agreement between the town of Schuyler Falls and the Teamsters Local 687 that will be in effect until December 31st, 2023 to ratify the hiring of Ronald Cook Jr. Effective date of hiring will be May 31st, 2023 as MEO, motor equipment operator, at the rate of $23.55 in lieu of the wage rate of $22.55. That is stated in the union contract. Be it therefore resolved that the January 1st, 2024, that as of January 1st, 2024, Ronald Cook Jr. will then follow the pay rate set forth in the approved union contract effective January 1st, 2023 through December 31st, 2025, which is the remainder of the contract. Basically, the agreement is, excuse me, before I get into that, I did make sure to write in there that the agreement is not precedent setting and does not open up any part of the contract for further negotiations, because if we open it up, then it opens the whole thing up. So I asked Mickey if he was alright, and if he was, to send the paperwork to me, which you guys will see at the end. We all signed it already. So it still has to be approved by the board, but if you guys approve that tonight by resolution, that's what he'll be making. So basically what happens is, on the union contract, a new hire, until they get the first year in, and it goes by calendar year, okay, it's supposed to be making $1 less an hour than the guys that are already up there working. Alright, so it's kind of funny, because if it goes by calendar year, if somebody was hired in December 25th, say, in 5 days they would have went to $1 more an hour anyways. It doesn't go by a year of their service, it goes by calendar year. So again, the guys have all agreed that, and I don't even know why they put it back in the contract, that they think that he should be hired at the regular rate when it's $1 an hour. So Mickey Smith signed this. He's the Northeastern Regional Teamsters local guy. David Amell, who is the shop steward up there, and then I signed it after they did. Saying that it did not open up any of the articles of the agreement or any negotiation. So I guess I will accept a motion in a second, and then
Yes,
if anybody
motion.
has any conversation, we'll do that then. So,
Second.
Reg and Mike, is there any discussion? Or did I kill it?
Mr. Hamel?
Yes.
Mr. Parati?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Facto?
Yes.
Mr. Randall?
Yes. Okay, the next resolution is 2357. The motion by be it resolved that the regular town board meeting that was scheduled for Tuesday, July 25th of 2023 at 6 p.m. be rescheduled for July 18th, 2023 at 6 p.m. I don't know why we don't change that right at the beginning of the year before the organizational meeting, because we run into that every year with the fairgrounds who run in that week, and we lose too many personnel on the board. So anyways, that's what that basically is about, to make sure we have a quorum. We'd like to change that meeting from the 25th to the 18th.
I'll make motion.
Second.
Sure. And second, roll call?
Mr. Hamel?
Yes.
Mr. Parati?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Facto?
Yes.
Mr. Randall?
Yes. Alright, 2358. Motion by be it resolved that the town board of the town of Schuyler Falls approves the following general fund budget transfers. from A.3620.400, safety inspections contingent of $350 to A.3620.410, safety inspections mileage for the same amount, $350. Again, under discussion, our previous codes officer did not submit mileage. Howard does, but they changed the pay scales. So I don't blame him for submitting mileage, but that's why we're doing this transfer.
So we're gonna have to do this every month?
Well,
We can't just-
we're adding enough in there to take care of it. I don't think this will be every month, but it'll be every few months. And I can talk to Mary about maybe transferring more at one time.
Well, I was just thinking if we could do it from, say, June to,
Yeah.
through December.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I'll have to talk to Mary and find out what the average is that he's submitting a month, and then we'll do the average time the remainder of the months, and then we'll do it that way.
Okay.
Okay?
That was a rough average.
Huh?
That was a rough average
Yeah,
through the end of the year.
not $350. Was it? That's gonna cover you for the rest of the year? Alright. Close enough.
That would be nice.
Yeah, I'm good with that. So, I'll make that motion. How about that?
Second.
Mr. Bruno was the second. Roll call?
Mr. Hamel?
Yes.
Mr. Parati?
Yes?
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Facto?
Yes.
Mr. Randall?
Yes.
We did not do a discussion on this.
Mhm.
No, we
We
don't
did
do
a
a
discussion.
We didn't do that. And find out that it's for the whole year. Don't do jabs, I'm more than.
I can put that in a discussion, just make sure we have enough if we need to transfer money again to cover it throughout the whole year.
Yep.
All right, resolution 2359. Motion by, be it resolved that the town board of the Town of Schuyler Falls authorizes the hiring of Michael McCormick, Russell McCormick, and Russell for the proposed Morrisville Water District Improvement Project. Discussion. Under that, I just want to say that his not to exceed fee is $15,000 for up to 60 hours of legal services at $250 per hour billed at intervals determined in the sole discretion of the attorney and due within 30 days of a bill. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Mr. Bruno,
Second.
Mr. Hamel. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, will you be submitting monthly bills on that, Mike? Or,
Not necessarily, it depends on the work if it comes in, yeah. Yeah, I've done several water projects, other towns, and typically put in that not to exceed amount. I've never come close to it,
Oh.
so.
And that,
So it's just, you know, they need something in their full,
Yes.
basically.
they need a dollar amount not to exceed it, because they look at our Schedule E that I talked about that was submitted.
yeah,
On what we have for legal fees for the project. And the grants wanna make sure that we don't just have an open checkbook for certain things to stay within a budget. The Schedule E is to let the town board and the town know what you're getting into with the project and how much money and funds you're gonna have to expend. And that's the way you make sure you can budget and prepare for what you have to pay out is a not to exceed amount. So like when Douglas Goodfriend put in for $24,750 for his, he probably won't even come anywhere near close to that, but the cap on our E form was 25,000. So that's what they do. They put it
Okay.
close
Then
to,
again,
and
so
then,
it's,
Kind of as an example,
yeah,
if I'm called to, say, do some easements or something,
yeah,
and that's all I did in a month, I probably
That's all
build
you
that.
did build.
Or try and get it in before the board
okay,
meeting.
thank you. That's
Yeah.
fine.
and he's our local check. You know what I mean? Rather than just going with the bond attorney. So he reviews, as far as I know, he'll review some of that paperwork.
I'll review,
Yeah.
like, when Doug does the bond paperwork, I'll review it for the town. I'll help you get it signed properly, because it's a little tricky,
Yeah,
and, so there's be a little bit there.
and then it's all gotta be filed. So,
Right, but, a lot of it just goes back to Doug, and then he does the major filing.
he does it all the time.
Yeah.
So we got a good
He's
one. I think
Very specialized.
Yeah, I think he's rated 1 or 2 in the state, so
Yeah.
we're lucky to get him. All right, so, there's no further discussion, I guess we got a roll call.
Mr. Hamel?
Yes.
Mr. Parati?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Facto?
Yes.
Mr. Randall?
Yes. Alright, there's that. That's actually his legal agreement that I had to sign, that's that form 1780-7 that Lucas needed for USB ID. Because I didn't know what was gonna happen with
Yeah.
that to him, because you like marked everything, it was like a school teacher had it. He was like, no, I'm good with it. I'm like, alright, I'm good with it too. Okay, I almost threw my whole docket away.
Should we sign this, Kevin? As well,
Yes,
or-
I mean, you don't have to, but go ahead, not sign that one. Why don't you sign this one, so we have a signed copy from everybody? But I agree with Donna that the resolution pretty much is your signature, don't you agree? But if you want, we'll have all of the board sign this particular one. That way we do have one with all signatures on it.
If you could read it.
Thanks, Greg, you can bring that up later.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, Mr. Bryan. Mr. Hamel? Thank you. All right, that brings us to claims. General fund, $34,210.30. Highway, $24,685.59. Audit only, $3,319.90. Woods Mills Water, $2,299.03. Morrisonville Water, $12,848.99. Macy Lane, $686.60, and I guess I should read the numbers. I only are 202, excuse me, 202300563 through 202300577. Claims 202300590 through 202300670. And payroll claims 202300544 through 202300562, and also 202300578 through 2023005.
Kevin, did you add one in to that for this? Is that-
Yeah, I'm sorry, that yours didn't get changed. So, the first one on claims, you guys, or the end number where it's through, is supposed to be 70, not 69.
Yeah, I got it.
Everybody good now? All right, so at that point, and then I'll ask for a motion to pay the claims.
Motion.
Mr. Ferrari,
Second.
Mr. Facto, roll call.
Mr. Hamel?
Yes.
Mr. Parati?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Facto?
Yes.
Mr. Randall?
Yes. So, I have been asked by, one of the councilmen to go into a quick executive session.
Can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
Maybe we could do public forums so some of these people can leave.
I have no problem with that. He had requested to do it before public forums.
Oh, you did?
No, it's okay.
If you're good with that?
Good with it. Good with it.
Actually, can I have one other quick thing? What are we gonna do about these bids?
Okay. I thought I covered that when I said we're gonna re-advertise them, but we have to decide when. And I wanna talk to Barton and Judas, I wanna talk to, LaBerge and see what they think, their thoughts are. If we should hold off and do it this fall for next year, I'm hoping not, that we don't have to. But I'm telling you, right now, we're right in the middle of the construction season. So I'm gonna say every one of those guys are already got their projects lined up and they can't do any more than what they got months to work in. And, that's where, I mean, we started like, when I talked to Joe Denzek for the splash pad, I called him like the second week of January. And he already had his schedule done for this year. That's what I said. I was surprised when he said he might be able to start that in September. He goes, oh no, you gotta get it with us with, he said, you should have got with us by September of last year for summer of wrong. It's crazy how
Right, no, and I agree with, here's my thought, see what everybody thinks, but if we're gonna hold off, construction season's gonna go through at least the end of September, maybe in October. So if we wait until like October or November to put this back out for bid, why wouldn't we just kind of hold off and let the new board, you're only gonna be 2 months before the new board comes on.
I know, but you don't wanna stop town business waiting for the new board. You still wanna proceed with the projects, and especially this ARPA fund money. If we were wasting another whole year, we have to have it all allocated by the end of '24, and it has to be spent by '26, so. Like I said, you don't wanna lose.
Oh, no, I agree.
$500,000
If you think if we can get the bids advertised and in a timely fact, I just hate to see us do it in middle of December or something. I know it'll be in the
Oh,
calendar.
no, even then, they wouldn't be able to do, like, the water projects and stuff then. They would just be receiving the bids to bid on them for the following summer. That's all I'm saying. You wanna make sure they're lined up as early as you can to get them before they bulk up. I mean, there's only so many contractors that can do that kind of work. The garage, don't mind leaving a truck out of a bay up there while they're working on one. That was one thing that when we had it bid out the first time is that, you know, it was a kind of a stickler that he didn't want any of his trucks out during the winter, or going into the fall it was actually. But they did say that they could petition off, you know, Bay 3, Bay 2, or Bay 1, and only be working on that one as they're doing it, so you can have the trucks in the other two. Naturally, one would have to be in cold storage, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. Like I said, I'll get with them, and I'm gonna find out, especially on that project. It's hard to do it with the Macy Lane one because there's only so many contractors that put water lines in. There are quite a few masonry contracts local that we could probably reach out to if we don't put it out to sealed bid, and we contact them and ask for like 3 bids, you know what I'm saying? So that might be an option, but that's something that
That's the way I originally started out.
Yeah, exactly.
So I got the first 2 and they were
Yeah.
kind of high, we thought, so I never even got the 3rd one.
Right. No, I still got those.
I do
And,
too.
I know Mr. Facto really wanted to have everything out to sealed bid, and the board agreed to do sealed bid, the whole
Yeah.
board, not just them. So that's how we did that. So, it may be time to revert back to,
Mike, isn't it over a certain amount though, you have to have sealed bids?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that's why you do sealed bids.
Don't ask me exactly the amount
no, but,
right here, but,
Well, that's what I said. I think that one, like I said, we could probably stay under that one. That would be the only one.
See, Sherman, in terms of Macy Lane, if we don't put it back out for bid again, we're gonna go now until July 18th. I mean, would you wanna pass over that much time, do you think, or could we try it one more month and see if we might get something back? Because doesn't it have to be 30 days
Yeah.
on that?
We'd have to re-advertise it, right?
That is a suggested
So
time,
what I mean-
is 30 days. One of them was 26 and one was 28, which is really gonna make that much of a big difference. I mean, that was the closest we could get it for when
Yeah.
we could get it in the press and then have it, because that's the other thing, is you like to have them opened at the meeting.
Yeah.
So that's why we did it a couple days early, because our meeting was on the 23rd and there wasn't that many calendar days in between, so we lost a couple days out of 30. But yeah, 30 is a pretty common.
So if we don't do it now, it'll be into August.
So why don't, if you wanna do a motion, she's gonna kill me, but if you wanna do a motion that allows us to re-advertise the bids if it is, not acceptable, but, recommended by the
But wouldn't you have to talk with LaBerge Group first?
I would, but that's what I'm saying, we could pass a motion just to say if it is a recommendation to put it out to bid at such a time, that way we don't have to wait until next month's meeting to actually pass a motion or a resolution to put it out to bid, if you see what I'm saying.
So when would you
So
open
I
these
would
bids?
contact all the councilmen after I've got my information from them, and if they say, yeah, put it back out again, or like I said, after we talk to Mr. McCormick and he looks at it and sees what the dollar amounts are. The problem is that when you put it out to bid, you're not gonna know whether or not you're gonna be under that until they bid it. You see what I'm saying? It's gonna depend on what their bids are, if there's a threshold, to know. So we can solicit them, find out what they are, and then if they meet the threshold, we can go forward with it if the board wants to. If they don't, then we'll put it out to another sealed bid, if that makes sense. But we don't have to put all that in a resolution. All we gotta do is say, hey, like Reg says, if we can do it and it's recommended, why don't we give Donna the ability to do that?
No, but what I'm saying is that your sealed bids have gotta go through LaBerge. They have to be the ones with the electronic
Correct.
to get all that.
Yep.
So you were gonna talk with LaBerge first
Right.
to find out, and then you
But if I
wouldn't.
find out from LaBerge tomorrow morning, then we're still gonna have to wait till the following month's meeting to advertise it, because we don't have a
Right.
resolution to advertise. So that's all I'm saying, why don't we just do a motion that if it's acceptable, and
And you're gonna have to
The
do it
stars
because
look
I'm
up.
not going to be here.
well, I'll send it to your laptop there, or whatever that iPad thing was, or MySpace, or whatever that was. But, you could, I'll make it up.
Well, wait.
Send it to you, you look at it, and then send it back, I'll make sure it gets in the paper.
Bring it down.
That's a good idea. Yeah, I'll bring it down to Florida, yeah.
Well, it's gonna be the same format.
Yeah. Yeah,
It'll be the
absolutely.
same, the
Yeah,
same bid, it's just a
don't-
changing of the date.
The dates are only gonna change.
Can you believe that? Reggie and I both agreed on something of each other's.
I still don't trust you, so.
Well, we will, I agree though. If
Yeah.
we can get it in, started this project
Yeah.
this year, I'd rather than wait until September to start bidding or October, because then you're gonna be another 30 days. That's why, because I didn't realize you were
Yeah.
gonna try to get it.
You
right
can
out.
sign that one, did you? You need to sign that piece of paper.
You're done.
No, I'm-
Thank
I'll have to read it.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I'll put a motion to the board that if feasible, that we can go ahead and re-advertise either one of those two bids. I shouldn't say it that way. The Macy Lane bid and the garage floor bid. That make sense? Or do I need to do them two
We're
separate?
gonna have to do two
Alright.
separate ones.
Yeah, probably best.
Probably best?
Yeah.
Alright, so the first motion would be to, if feasible, re-advertise, I don't know, pick one, Macy Lane. I'll need a second.
Second.
And
then when-
Like that.
And open the bid at the next town board meeting?
No.
July
Let's-
18th?
Yeah, let's see what way we can do it, but if we have to.
No.
we
No,
have to
June.
change it, But it's still
June.
sealed bids, yeah, it'd be 30 days. or as close as we can get it. That's what they're.
The June meeting.
You want it at the June meeting? You think you're gonna be able to have all this done by
That's what
June?
I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying, maybe July 8th, well,
No.
you wanna do it in the June?
No, go ahead.
Well, I'm just
That's
saying, we
fine.
might be able to, it's only gonna be phone calls. I just gotta find out what their recommendations are. And then, it ain't gonna take a whole month to figure out what the limit is, or the threshold is, or what we can put out, or ask, or solicit bids for. So, we might be able to get it knocked out before our next meeting. I would say the next meeting.
You probably could get it in the paper by May 29th, and that would give you just about 30 days. May 29th being a Monday.
We'll get it as close to the 30-day mark as I
There's
can.
there's no paper on Monday, so it would have to be Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Right, yeah, I know, 'cause you do all that, I'm kind of, no,
I'm not gonna be here, I'm leaving tomorrow.
you shoot me an email and I'll take care of it, how's that sound? Oh, you can make me deputy clerk?
Okay, I haven't got you that one.
Alright. So, but we don't have to have that in there, we just gotta have that, where I'm allowed to.
Hey, you need an ad, because we have to, when we put the ad in, you need to
Oh,
have
I
a
know it,
date.
but an emotion, all it is to be able to rebid it. Correct? Or do you wanna get that specific with it?
Mike, when they put a motion in for sealed bids, don't they need to say when they're going to open them, so I know what to put in my bid?
I don't even know if I do sealed bids, I just say to rebid the project, leave it open so we can solicit or do it by
But
sealed.
I thought we were going over the threshold.
Macy Lane you will be. So yeah, I don't care, that one you probably could do by, or will have to do by sealed bid, because it's a Macy Lane. The garage one, I think, I might make it under threshold, but I can't tell you that until we look at it.
Well, your last bid was 200 and something thousand.
For the highway garage, but didn't we do Macy Lane first?
Oh, okay, you wanna do Macy Lane first?
Isn't that what you wrote?
Okay,
So we're not all confused? That one will probably have to be sealed bids.
All right, what do we got in the resolution there for?
It's not, it's a motion. Well, she hates, because I don't have a resolution made for that. So, again, motion would be to re-advertise 4 bids, Macy Lane,
Yeah.
if advised
Mm-hmm.
by our engineer.
Same motion, but just add the words.
I'm a bird.
If advised by the engineer.
Mike, is 30 days required?
No,
I wouldn't think so.
Okay.
I think 30 days is just,
a standard,
yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
but it's not required. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been able to do what we did last time, because we only did like 28 days or something. It depends on when we get it in the paper and our next meeting. Because if we're not opening at a meeting, then it don't matter, because we can just make it 30 days. But if you continue to want to have the sealed bids open at a monthly meeting, then that's where we run into that, trying to get into the 30 days.
Okay.
So, do you care whether it's open or
No,
not?
no, it's fine. It's fine.
So we'll do 30 days, and whatever that works out to be, we'll open them.
Yeah.
We'll just have a special meeting open, okay?
Yep.
Perfect. We're getting better all the time. Alright. So, I guess, that was my motion, who seconded it?
Roddy.
So, 2 yeas and nays, Michael.
So do what?
Your yeas and nays. Roll call, in other words.
Mr. Hamel?
Yes.
Mr. Parati?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Basco?
Yes.
And Mr. Randall?
Yes.
Okay, and then you're gonna
I
do
threw
the
her
same
off with that
thing
little-
for Barton and LaJudas again? You're gonna contact,
Unless we can do it by soliciting, because that one might be low enough. So I would just say again, to open it up for bid, not sealed bid. It could be sealed bid or not that way. And we just say that we re-advertise for bid. The garage floor, or highway garage floor project.
if advised by Barton and LaJudas.
Yeah. And our attorney, Mike McCormick, if it looks like we're gonna get under that threshold. You see what I'm saying? Because it-
No, I don't,
All right,
because you're not gonna
Mike
know if
thinks
you're
there
gonna
might
have
be-
that.
well, Mike thinks there may be a threshold where we can't just
I
solicit.
think you go with, what the engineer tells you to expect as a,
Yeah, and there, that's another one. Like Barnum and Goose or the birds, you can tell me right flat out, I think it's gonna be over that threshold where you can solicit. That's a simple one for, I can look that up, Google it after we get done here tonight.
yeah.
Alright,
Okay, we need a motion.
that would be my motion again. I need a second.
Second.
Sure. And roll call.
Mr. Hamel,
Yes.
Mr. Parati,
Yes.
Mr. Bruno.
Yes.
Mr. Facto.
Yes.
Mr. Randall.
Yes. We got there from there. I thought we were doing public forum, but alright, let's go to finish up public forum. Yes, sir.
Any results on that dump off of, what's the name of it, by the House of Pine? The reason, before you even answer it,
Yeah.
the Saturday of Mother's Day, we were doing a barbecue with mother-in-law, which is right in front of it. Something was fighting over there. I know one of them was a cat, I don't know what the other thing was, but they were fighting back. So we went around the fence and looked. And from the back side of the house, on the left side of it, they look like propane tanks. There's at least 10, 20 pounders on the ground right next to it. There's two 100 pounders sitting right next to the trailer. And on the far end of it, it's those portable tanks that you see in the back of pickup trucks with
Yep.
the hand crank.
Yep.
Something is
Like a
there.
diesel tank or whatever.
Diesel or gas, whatever it is. And all that is, if they're propane tanks, that's explosive. That's the reason I'm bringing it up, because who knows what could happen. Never did, whatever, we know one was a cat, because we seen it take off when we were around the fence. Don't know what the other thing it was fighting with.
Right.
Don't,
Did the fire
something
department-
ever be
No.
done on that.
It's codes, but,
No, but did they look at that when they put that fire out, those tanks?
No, it was on the other end of the house where the fire wasn't.
right. So they would have made sure they shut the large tanks off at a house
would've
fire.
thought.
We do that anyways. Whether they had propane in them or whether, I don't know who, if it's Suburban or, AmeriGas or whatever came in and got the gas out of them and they're empty, I have no idea. That's something that Mr. Newman can look into. I know you have made some gains on the bank side of things over there and the property having a lien or a mortgage on it, so it's still going through court system. I know it's a pain.
It's been
It's slow.
At least 15 months we've been hearing that.
Yeah. I don't do the work and I can't tell the judge what to do, and I know how he's working on it. So I know that I'm gonna guess that there is paperwork in to get the legal things that will be done to clean it up. And after that happens, if they don't do it on properties such as those that where the bank, in this case, may not wanna, we could actually force them to do it through the mortgage, hopefully. I don't wanna say too much, it's illegal stuff, but even if a individual property owner owned it and there's no bank involved, we can submit through a resolution to have the town pick it up, the cost of cleaning it up. And then they would do, I know it's not, I'm not gonna put it right, Mike, but there's a lien you can put against the property after where and it's not called that. I know you told me what it was once before, but, so we can repeat that. Or in most cases, I think now because of what happened with the state, with this land bank trust thing that they started out with, I think it has to go through the county makes us whole, and then the county puts it on the tax map as they owe. Anybody that buys it or has it owes that money back. So there's a process to it. There's everything, a lot of red tape. But we do have an avenue now. I've looked into it, if worse comes to worse. So that'll might answer your question not like you wanted, but I'll tell you the
Otherwise,
truth.
nothing's gonna be done for quite a while.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'd like to lie to you and say, yeah, we'll take care of that tomorrow morning, but it-
I was just worried about all the
Yeah.
they look like they're propane
Yep.
tanks, the little 20-pounders.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like, whether they are or not, I don't know.
Right, and
But
it-
I can totally see the 100-pound ones sitting there.
that's
They're all
something.
right next to each other.
Right, and that's something that Howard can look under the codes and see if we got anything where we could say, okay, now this is emergency. If we can't make things going on that direction, but that's something he's gonna have to look up and see. I'm sure there's something in even the state regulations. Thanks for bringing that to our attention.
Will
Yes,
all
ma'am.
the activities and things that are coming up over the summer be on the website?
Yup, the 175th is on there already, the music in the park is on there, not all of the events are up there, cause we just gotta book a couple more.
Is it every week or every other week, the music in the park?
It's,
Or once a month?
I think we tried to do it the whole
Oh, okay.
month, I should have brought it in with me. There you go, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
So those dates are
I
on.
missed it.
No problem.
Mr. Dabrowski, thank you.
I see
You
it
answered the
every
question
week,
for me.
okay.
As I said, I wish I'd have brought it in. But those are the nights that we're planning. I think there is only 3 left on there that we have to,
Yeah.
or we might
2.
be down to 2.
Yep,
Yep, 2 left.
okay.
And Barb does a heck of a job burning the phones up, trying to get that, those covered, so.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Just back to the same old thing, I mean, Reg mentioned it earlier, but we're running almost 8 o'clock. I think the public should have a chance to speak ahead of time. You know, even if it's limited to a certain amount of time, like 2 minutes or so. Because I know the town of Peru does it, gives us a chance, and then you guys go through your motions. So if somebody has something to do, they don't have to sit around for 2.5 hours. Just a good idea.
Yeah, we just have to amend the rules and regulations that we have for.
Yeah, it seems like a simple thing to do. If I'm in the public, I don't think anybody would disagree with me. I mean, can't we use the ARPA funds to buy equipment for the highway garage, like a backhoe?
If it's a general expense and you,
Well, it's something that I think we really need in our town as a backhoe. We're the only town that I know of who doesn't have one. An excavator, a backhoe, a trailer to haul it with. I mean, simple equipment that we should have.
okay, so I've spoken to Mike and he can tell you that I've been looking for, what, 1.5 years now and showing you different backhoes. It's not a piece of equipment that you've asked for once. And I was of the same mindset. So if you can convince Mr. Snyder that he needs a backhoe, then.
Well, I think he would agree with me 100%. If, especially with all these water projects going on, if you have a problem with them afterwards, then
We
how are
don't,
they
they
gonna
don't
get
do
fixed?
it.
We don't do it.
Yeah, and I gotta hire somebody. So
No, we already have that as part of the operation and maintenance.
with the agreement with the town
contract.
of Plattsburgh.
Yes, sir.
Well, here's my other question. When the splash pad comes in, how much water does that use roughly?
It is, don't quote me, I think it was around 1 million gallons. If we.
Per
the only
year
way-
or per month or per
Per
week
year.
or?
The year. The thing that, when I proposed it, and that was one of the questions that I had to answer for the town of Plattsburgh before they decided to do it again. I had